The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
All right, pre-gamers for the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4-Beer Sports Talk, and a whole lot more. Game 2 of the ALCS Yankees Guardians tonight from the big ballpark in the Bronx. Once again, the big dog, Gerrit Cole's on the mound for the Yankees tonight. Should be another great game. Last night, the Yankees obviously won 5-2. Different kind of a baseball game, couple of home runs, a few wild pitches, scored some runs. Little league game as of sorts. A lot of walks. The Yankees have been quite successful getting on base throughout these playoffs with a lot of walks. It's a kind of a recipe that they've had throughout the season, taking a lot of pitches, getting on base and not cashing in. We'll get to that in half a second. A little bit of concern in this Yankee fan's eyes. Anyways, as always, this show is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420-SEAT. That's 1420-SEAT at SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app for $20 off your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Belly Up Network, we're part of that, so make sure you guys check out bellyupsports.com for all the great articles and other great podcasts as well. Anyways, like I said, Yankees got off to a great start last night. Not the start that I was hoping for. I was quite shocked. I was wrong. I said in post-gamers last night that Carlos Rodon came out of nowhere. Really surprised me that he got that big win, big start last night, probably the best start of his career in a big spot in the Bronx. It was good to see that he was pitching the ball well early and often didn't get the emotions get the best of him as it did in the ALDS against the Kansas City Royals, where he struck out the side, as you can remember, and then it kind of went downhill after that. But a great start by him last night, and it was great. The Guardians tonight to face Gerrit Cole. They got their big dog on the hill. Tanner Bybee for the Guardians. He's going tonight. But the thing is for tonight for the New York Yankees, Gerrit Cole has a CC Sabathia kind of a start tonight, where he's going to put his money where his mouth is. This is why they pay him the big bucks and say, you know what, this is why we're paying you. The Yankees can go up 2-0 in this series, which would be huge. As you could probably guess, teams go up 2-0 in a series have a much better chance of winning a series than they do when losing a series. That's a pretty simple math. When you're closer to 4 than you are to when you're closer to 2 than you are to 4, you have a better chance of winning a series. Back in 1996, the Yankees lost their first 2 at home in the World Series to the Atlanta Braves, as you all remember, but they came back to win that one in 6. It's going to be great to watch this game tonight. I expect a very low-scoring game. We'll get to my predictions for the game. I was wrong last night. When I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not gonna hide from that fact. It's one of those things I said earlier on. I was at work and my boss, he kind of laughed at me about Rodon's start and everything else, but I was wrong. I said, you know what? You throw enough crap in the wall, something's bound to stick. Because if I was right, and I'd brag about it a little bit. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Because a pat in the back is only 3 feet and a kick in the ass. Always remember that, folks. It's one of those things. But this game tonight should be another good one. I expect a very low-scoring game. I can't see the wild pitches happening. They're going to see Naylor. He had a rough night behind the plate last night. It was like, I don't know what was going on there in the third inning. It just seemed very, very, very odd for the wild pitches that were happening, some spike pitches. Maybe he's going to go back to the drawing board. That one knee catching that catches tend to be doing nowadays. Sometimes it doesn't help that low pitch. You can't can't get at it. It's just tough to block. It's tough to get across. It's always to see one of those things. It's tough to see a catcher go through that, especially a Canadian kid as Naylor is, and he goes through that. Our friends, the Back It Up Binge podcast, always give game one of the home team. It's game two. You always have to worry about Guardians pick one off like the Mets did, totally different series. Care for Ramirez, 353 versus Cole. That's the thing. Ramirez, he hit a few last night that probably could have went in the gap, probably could have been a difference maker. Judge tracked one down, and I think it was the sixth inning, the end of Rodon's start. The kind of Rodon gave a salute out to Judge for that play, and it kind of worked out in the Yankees' favor with that win. The one shot, the two home runs that the Yankees got last night. The one that Soto hit, I thought it was going to end up in about the 19th row of the bleachers, but it got into the bullpen. A home run's a home run, so it just goes to show that the wind in the Bronx starts swirling a little bit, and play up baseball in October. The ball doesn't travel as well, and the same with the Stanton home run. One of those. The Guardians also had a home run last night. But tonight, I really, really hope that Garrett Cole can survive the first few innings, not give anything up, because Bybee, behind him, he's been great all season long. Behind him, he has that great Guardians bullpen that didn't give up much during the season, and they're all ready to go tonight. Cade Smith, Tim Herron, Hunter Gladys, and of course Emmanuel Clase. None of them pitched last night. One of the first times in the Guardians season that those guys didn't see the mound at all. So they're all fresh to go tonight. So if they can get a lead, if Bybee can only go 4 or 5 innings, maybe 6, and then they have a real strong shut them down bullpen. Not that the Yankees, once again, they finally gave up a run last night. The first run they gave up, the bullpen in these playoffs in the 4 or 5 games they played. But it's unbelievable that Weaver kid I talked about last night. He's getting himself into the Yankees pantheon a little bit of how he's been just a shutdown guy. He went 5 outs last night, 25 pitches, and he said he's ready to go tonight. I find it odd, 25 pitches. It's the way the game is played now. I get it. 25 pitches doesn't seem like a lot, but you do that night in, night out. These relievers are creatures of habit. They start going a little bit more, but it's playoffs, and you got to figure, I got to get out there. I got to get my work in. I have to be the guy to do this, because he was out basically going to be honest. He was 1 foot out the door of a major league career, and now he's front and center, and he's a Yankee hero so far right now. And if they can keep him going, why not? You wonder how this is all going to affect. It was a great performance by the Yankees last night. They got the first 2 guys on base, as they have in 2 other games out of their first 5, 6 playoff games, and that's where we get back to the Aaron Judge syndrome. Yeah, he had the sac fly last night, but he also had that strikeout looking in the first, where the first 2 guys got on. Soto with a hard single at the middle. Then you also had leading off Gleyber Torres, I think, who's having he's playing for his life in the Bronx, whether he's back next year, but his resume is getting built in the postseason. If he keeps going, I don't think the Yankees can not bring him back next season. But let's get back to tonight. It's a huge game for the Yankees. They should win this game. They have their big dog on the mound. They're paying Cole all that money for these type of starts, and this might be the one to put them into the next round. It's still the 2-3-2. A lot can happen, but getting this win tonight is essential for the Yankees' success moving forward. You look at that and the Yankees might be in their best interest to get this series done quick, because the other series looks like, for all intent and purpose, that one's going to go the distance. The Mets with a big win last night after getting shut out 9-0 on Sunday night, coming back and winning yesterday with 7-2, I think it was. They had a lot more going on. The Yankees do, once again, the Back It Up Binge podcast, the Yankees got to be more clutch right off the bat. 0 for 7 runners in scoring position. They scored runs the little league way, with balls passed, wild pitches, or we want to call it, but they have to be more efficient at the plate. And it starts with Aaron Judge. You hate to beat the dead horse, but this is a true fact of the matter. Judge has had a lot of situations. He's come up in these playoffs and hasn't come up clutch throughout his Yankee tenure. And this is kind of a night where if they do get the first couple of guys on base, Judge has to do something. And if he doesn't, the pinstripes are going to get a lot heavier, and the people are going to start asking a lot more questions about what's going on with Aaron Judge, and is this the kind of guy who he is? Is this the kind of guy that they are? MVP of the we talk about it all the time. Is it, you can be an MVP in the regular season all you want, but if you don't get it done in the playoffs, nobody cares. And this Judge has another chance tonight to maybe do something. Soto's going to get on base. Soto with that home run last night, he's writing a very big paycheck for himself, and he's doing his job. Gleyber is doing his job. You have Stanton doing his job, which is unbelievable to me how those legs are still getting things going. But Aaron Judge is the X factor. If he can get a hit early and get the monkey off his back a little bit, yeah, like I said, he had that sac fly last night, but he was trying for a home run. Don't kid yourself. He wasn't just trying to elevate that ball for a sac fly. He'd like to get more going just to get the naysayers off his back, and that's the biggest thing with Aaron Judge right now. And they're going to go as far as Aaron Judge is going to take him. They've been quite fortunate thus far with their how they played in the playoffs. It's been a short playoffs for them so far. Tonight's only their sixth game, but they've been successful without Judge doing anything. So if Judge can get going, the sky's the limit for the New York Yankees moving on in these American League playoffs and on to the World Series, their first since 2009. It's a little bit odd to think that the Judge thing is kind of hanging over your head when the team has been successful. But when you get paid that $40 million, people start to think about that a lot more, and they start to think that maybe he's not the guy. And this Yankee lineup really depends on him to get things going. Another thing that was odd to me last night that we talked about a little bit in post gamers was the Rizzo getting taken out in the ninth inning. They were saying fatigue, mental, physical fatigue, and you could have finished out three more innings. I found that really odd last night. They put him in. He's got such a good glove at first base, but that play in the eighth, I think it was, that got by him, and then there was the obstruction, which the umpires kind of blew the ruling. They got the call right, but the way they awarded bases after that was kind of an odd thing. The guy wasn't going to advance to second, and said, I don't want to get rule centric here as an umpire, but Danny Isogna, who he was one of my instructors back in 1997 at the Jim Evans umpire school. That's a long time ago. Danny Isogna was one of the best in the game, but I don't know if he got the call 100% right. It was an obstruction call, but I thought that Rizzo should have had that ball going through, but the way it all turned out in the Yankees' favor regardless. But it's going to be an interesting game tonight. I think the Yankees really, really have to come out swinging, have to come out hard and try to get some runs early and often. It's going to be tough with Bibee and with that bullpen, and Bibee's fresh. He's ready to go, but it's very important that the Yankees jump off to an early lead tonight and not try to score runs late against this vaunted bullpen of the Cleveland Guardians. It's going to be a tough game for the Yankees to do it because Bibee's got nothing. This team, yes, you have something to lose, but they really want to get this game. This is pretty much a do or die, you would think, for the Cleveland Guardians. But they have a chance to do something. The one thing you might see tonight in this game, I think it might happen. You might see a lot more small ball being played a little bit because Cole is so good and because the Yankees bullpen has been so fantastic as well. I think you might see if guys do get on base, they might run a little bit. I think they had a 35% steal rate that was very well. I'm not a big stats guy, but I think you might see a lot more small ball. You might see a lot more guys moving the ball around. A few more guys trying to steal base. A few more guys maybe some hit and runs and that kind of thing, and get down to things because they want to produce some runs as well. They didn't score a bunch of runs in their playoff games against the Tigers, and then they didn't obviously with the 2 runs last night with the home run that they had in the 8th inning. I think it was, or 7th inning. I can't. It doesn't matter. 6th inning. Who cares when it was? But I think you're going to see a different kind of ball game tonight where you're going to see a lot more movement on the bases. Yankees had a lot of base runners last night and just couldn't get anything done other than the wild pitches. You know, it's not Yankee baseball, how the game was played 30, 40, 50 years ago. But I think you're going to see that a lot more tonight where maybe not the bunt so much, but a lot more hit and runs and then some stealing of bases might be on tap tonight for the New York Yankees. Let's get to their opening, their starting lineup today and see how this all goes. Leading off once again, so far has having himself a great playoff. Gleyber Torres is leading up for the Yankees, playing for his Yankee career. As I said earlier on, Juan Soto with the home run last night. And if it ain't, basically this lineup's the exact same as it was last night. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It might be Aaron Boone's philosophy on tonight's game. Aaron Judge, we can beat that one up a lot until he gets something going. We're going to talk about it no matter what here on Pre-Gamers. Austin Wells seems a little bit overwhelmed in these playoffs. A rookie season, he's going to be up for Rookie of the Year in the American League, but he needs to get something going. I thought they might have moved him down in the lineup a little bit, maybe move. I know he's got a lot more power than, say, a Chisholm Jr., but I just thought that maybe they could move Wells up and down the lineup and have somebody behind Judge, because Judge isn't producing. That's the one flaw that I think their four guy isn't doing much. Maybe move Stanton into the 4 position because what Wells has been struggling. Get Wells down. Maybe Rizzo can, because he hits the ball a little bit, or maybe get him into the 4-4 hole. But he hasn't swung the bat a ton in these playoffs as of late, and he was out for how long? Since September 28th, before he saw live pitching. He had that good single in the second inning last night. It really helped a lot with Rizzo. He squared it up, and his hand seems to be okay. The adrenaline and the playoff baseball, you don't know how many more chances you're going to get to play for a pennant. So Rizzo's going to be, he's a game, is ready to go tonight. And I'm still perplexed as to why they took him out of the game last night for a defensive substitution, but that's Aaron Boone and company's prerogative, I guess. They don't have to listen to Brent Redlinski, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, for Beer Sports, talking a whole lot more. Jazz Chisholm Jr. struck out in his first at bat last night. Was a bit perplexed about lipping off the umpire. I don't know when that does anybody any good. I said yesterday, I think that Chisholm's going to be the X factor for the Yankees in this playoff, in this series against the Guardians. I thought that he's been average at best, and average is might be a bit generous to say how he's been so far in these playoffs. He's got the one gimme home run in the ninth inning the other night, but he's got to just shut his mouth and put his money where his mouth is. He didn't do it again last night. Struck out looking and started to blame the umpire. Just always remember, when you're pointing one finger one way, you got 4 pointing back at you. Volpe's Volpe. He doesn't do a whole bunch at the plate. Rizzo, we've talked about, and then Verdugo. You get out of him what you get out of him. He's more of a defensive guy than an offensive guy hitting the nine hole. One guy that's perplexing to me, that's in the Yankees on the Yankees roster so far, is Jason Dominguez, the Martian. I'm not sure if he's ever going to see any time in these playoffs unless something a quick at bat, but a rookie that he is, a raw rookie, a few at bats in the major league level. Is he just there for window dressing to maybe scare the opposition a little bit? The guy's got some power, but he doesn't play defense very well. And then with the wind swirling as it is, it might be a lot tougher for a guy like him. So you might see Dominguez come off the bench at some point in these playoffs. If the Yankees need a hit, need something to happen, you might see that. The only time you might see Dominguez get in the lineup. It's going to be a knock him out, drag him kind of game, and I really suspect a low scoring event, because both pitchers our starting pitchers are so good, and both starting pitchers are likely to go deep, and then the bullpen is right there. So for something has to happen early for the Yankees tonight to get this game on their side, so they can get to their bullpen. I'd like to see Cole go 6 or 7 at least. 7 would be preferred. I just think that you don't want to go to your bullpen too early and too often in all these games, because eventually it kind of wears out its welcome, and eventually guys kind of wear themselves out, and the bullpen can only you start putting the ball in too many guys' hands, one is going to screw up. And I think that could happen with the Yankees tonight. I have full faith in the Yankees to win this game tonight. We'll get to the prediction here in half a second, but that's kind of my thoughts on tonight's game. The crowd was into it last night. Spike Lee was dancing and prancing and romancing. I'm not sure. I didn't see on the waiver wire if Taylor Swift's going to be at the game last night or tonight, as she was last night. I think the over-under hit 6.5, but if she's there tonight, I welcome her presence once again. She sees everything that girl touches is golden. So if T Swift is in the building tonight, that'd be greatly appreciated, because I don't know if she was cheering for the Yankees, but she seemed pretty excited when Soto hit the home run into the wind last night in the Bronx. Should be a good one tonight. I suspect the Yankees are going to win this one. Low scoring event is going to should be another ruckus crowd. Should be a lot of fun. Packed house last night in the Bronx. But can this team keep the Guardians off the scoreboard early? Because I think that's going to be the key to this entire game. That's a master of the obvious, obviously, with from Brent Redlinski, because you don't want to give up runs and try to battle back, because if the Yankees got to battle back, I don't know if they can do that because of this pea shooter offense they have. Walks aren't going to do it tonight. Yeah, you want to have guys on base, but your big dogs all have to get some hits, not just Giancarlo Stanton and not just Soto. And the Yankees live and die by the home run, but when a team isn't going to give up many home runs, you got to find a way to score some runs, especially when you do get guys on base. As the backup bench said to us, when you get guys on base, you have to cash them in because you might not get a bunch of opportunities tonight to make that happen. And I suspect that the Cleveland Guardians, when they do get some guys on base, because it's going to happen unless somehow Garrett Cole can pull out his inner Don Larson tonight and get himself a perfect game, which it would be kind of cool. But I wouldn't hold my breath waiting for that to happen. If he can make that happen, if he can hold the runners, keep the base runners in, I think the Yankees have a really good shot at winning this one, and Garrett Cole will earn every bit of that $35 million that he goes out and does every night. He didn't have a great start in Game 1 against Cleveland or against Kansas City. He had a very good start in Game 4 against Kansas City. He's on full rest, so you got to suspect he's going to have another good night, and the emotions will be in check. Don't expect him to walk a bunch of guys, and I hope he doesn't. And I don't expect Bibee to walk a bunch of guys for the Yankees. So if they do get a guy on base, they really have to take advantage of it and go from there. Anyways, that's my thoughts and about tonight's game, how it might roll out. We'll get to predictions in half a second, but here's a word from our friends over there at SeatGeek.
SeatGeek presents Boomstick Lady. SeatGeek helps her find the perfect seat so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Oh, okay. SeatGeek handles the tickets so fans can fan.
All right, there's our friends at SeatGeek, 1420 SEAT. That's 1420 SEAT at SeatGeek.com today, and saves out $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek. Prediction time. Let's get into it. I think the Yankees is going to be a low-scoring game, in my opinion. Predictions are brought to you by Righteous Felon Jerky and RighteousFelon.com. Go to Righteous Felon and save yourself 15% on the best beef jerky in the land by using promo code belly up at checkout. Low scoring game tonight. I'm suspecting a 2-1, 1-0 kind of, maybe a 3-2. That might be a bit high, but I don't know what the over under is. I'm not much of a betting guy. Doesn't really work out very well in my favor, but I'm expecting a very, very low scoring. Dylan Clark, he's got the Yankees winning 4-1 tonight. I have the Yankees winning this one 2-1, maybe a late home run somehow, some way. Clase gave up that late home run in the Detroit series, the Grand Slam. I think it was a Grand Slam. I expect the same thing tonight. Maybe Aaron Judge will get off the schneid, hit a home run, and get people off his back a little bit. But I think that's going to be a 2-1, 2-1-0 kind of a game for the Yankees. Won't be highly entertaining for people who like lots of offense. But I really believe that the Yankees are going to win this game, and their bullpen is going to keep being as good as it has been throughout these playoffs. I have the utmost faith in this team. They're kind of a team of destiny right now, and I really believe that this team can get something done tonight. They really want to win this game. Just like simple math. Once again, you really want to go up 2-0 and put the pressure on the other team going home. Then you can kind of throw one away if need be, and everything doesn't have to be perfect. The Yankees should win this series. They should win this game tonight. But it's tough to win 2 in a row, 3, 4, or 5, whatever it might be, and no matter who you're playing throughout the Major League season. But the Yankees, in their best interest, going to want to win this game, take a 2-0 series lead, which I think they're going to do tonight in a very low scoring game. Aaron Judge is going to get off the schneid tonight. He's going to get the big home run that we've all been waiting for and get the people off his back. So there's my prediction for tonight's NLCS or ALCS pre-gamers prediction, brought to you by Righteous Felon Jerky. Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon Jerky. It's really good stuff. You go out and get yourself some Righteous Felon Jerky before the playoffs are over, and enjoy it while you're watching the game. I'm not a big eater when the games are on, but if there's some snack food, I think I ate a big bag of chips last night watching that. Wasn't really nailed biter, but it was never really out of reach for the Cleveland Guardians last night. They kind of made a good run near the end of it, so it should be interesting to see how tonight's game plays out. Let's do today in Yankee history, and we'll get you guys out of here so you can go and tune into the game. You got 6 minutes till game time, about 14 minutes till first pitch. And today in Yankee history, here we go. On this day in 1981, the New York Yankees defeated the Oakland A's 4-0 in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series in front of 47,302 people at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in Oakland, California. Willie Randolph, 6th-inning, 2-out RBI single off of Matt Keogh proved to be the difference for the Yankees, but Yankees third baseman Greg Nettles hit a bases loaded and bases clearing 3 RBI double in the ninth to add some insurance for the Yankees. Dave Righetti went 6 shutout innings on the mound for the Yankees, striking out 4, walking 2, while scattering 4 hits. Rich Goose Gossage came in to close the game in the 9th inning, striking out 2 of the 4 batters he faced. The win would secure the pennant for the Yankees. They would go on to face the LA Dodgers in the World Series. The Yankees would eventually lose to the Dodgers in 6 games after taking a 2-0 series lead in that series. But it happened. So winning 2 games doesn't mean everything, like we talked earlier on. But you're better off 2-0 than you are 0-2. So on this day in 1981, the New York Yankees found themselves going to the World Series and against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I actually remember it quite well back then in 1981. I was a young fledgling baseball fan at the age of 7. So a lot of fun to go back on this day in Yankee baseball. A lot of great memories happened in October for the Yankees. So there it is. That's the pre-gamers tonight for the New York Yankees playoff run. Let's hope they can get another one in the books tonight. I think they will, but like I said, it's going to be a low-scoring game. I just really hope that it's a low-scoring on the right side of things. Just make sure you guys enjoy the game tonight. Go to SeatGeek and get your tickets if you're going to go to another game this season. It's good for all things, too, and use promo code 1420 SEAT at SeatGeek.com. A lot of fun doing these shows. We'll keep them coming throughout the playoffs, and there it is. Dylan Clark, he picks home run by Alex Verdugo tonight. That wouldn't be on my train of thought, but you never know. Verdugo is overdue to hit one out of the ballpark. He did it in game 1. He was their big star offensively and defensively in game 1 in that series against the Kansas City Royals. So maybe Verdugo can get that gold chain and everything else, and the batting gloves and on it goes with Alex Verdugo. I'm not his biggest fan, but Verdugo, he's a Yankee, so you got to kind of cheer for him. Anyways, that's it for pre-gamers for tonight's game. Go make sure you guys enjoy the game tonight. Cheer loud, go Yankees, and remember, everybody, smart people bunt. Have a great game, and we will talk to you right as soon as the game is over. Just listen to the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. 4 beer with the sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get